We're talking about fire after 3 fires within a week here locally, and the heat is turning on. Plus, we'll take a look at what to expect for your Mother's Day weekend across the Tri-Cities and our entire region coming up in your first alert weather forecast. And we are now 10 days into the Oregon State Republicans' walkout from the legislature. But tonight, there's a step in place to make sure that they don't hit that 10 limit of unexcused absences.
Now, KAPP local news at 5.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Alyssa Warner. We begin tonight with a plea for help from Benton and Franklin County representatives. They're saying the legal system is running short of money, and that could cause a big problem for procedures going forward.
The system, it just simply isn't working anymore, and we need to work together to get this fixed.
Franklin County authorities say they're struggling to get through a backlog of cases, in part because they don't have enough lawyers to go to court.
Cases piled up for years while our local courts were prohibited from performing their normal function, and cases are now going to trial, but large backlogs persist.
You have a constitutional right to a speedy trial, but you also have a right to legal defense. And if you can't afford to hire someone, the county has to assign a public defender. Both Benton and Franklin County officials say there just aren't enough people willing to take that job.
Already in Franklin County, we've had to cut bail of an accused rapist because we have a lack of attorneys here.
I think it's important context to know that Judge Ruff on Tuesday, when lowering the bail on the gentleman who stands accused of rape, did not lower bail in the case in which he stands accused of rape. He had a separate older burglary 2 case where he'd not yet been appointed an attorney. Just shows some of the triage that has to be done by our judicial system.
The Franklin County Office of Public Defense, or OPD, manager says right now counties are competing against each other, and that is not working.
The person with the most money is going to have the built-in advantage. And I have to compete against Benton County because the only thing that separates us is a bridge. It's the same labor pool. And if I don't have the money to compete, I don't begrudge the people that choose to go to Benton because they can make a lot more money.
He says another issue is that the state won't let OPD hire someone right out of school.
If you have A and B both go to law school together, they graduate together, they take the state bar exam together. They have no experience, they've just gone to school. But now they're out there in the job market. Mr. Stolburn's office can hire either one of them, and I can't touch either one of them because the State Supreme Court and the State Bar Association have fastened these qualifications on the defense side of the equation.
Now, the big question in all this is what can be done, if anything, and officials say any solution is going to probably take years to put together and then be implemented. We'll continue to update this as we learn more and as those developments happen. Now, we're talking about weather. We've seen 3 fires within 7 days across the Tri-Cities. The weather is only getting hotter and drier. The Pacific Northwest, in fact, looking at a potentially record temperatures with a heat advisory through the weekend for the west side. Now, here in the Tri-Cities, we're seeing just beautiful sunshine over Gisa Stadium and our live camera. Those current daylight hours are a lot longer. That means the heat has time to build up throughout the day. We're seeing that happening today. Here's a look at our current map. We're seeing temperatures in the upper 80s for the Tri-Cities and around the region, lower 80s in Walla Walla, Pendleton, and then 75 out in Dayton and 78, in Ellensburg. Jason Valentine has a look at what to expect for the weekend. In your first
Good Friday evening, everyone. Oh my goodness, we finally made it to the weekend, and what a weekend it is going to be. And please don't forget Mom as we get into Sunday for Mother's Day. So for the next 24 hours, we have more clear skies on the way overnight. We're starting to warm up overnight. Tomorrow overnight, we're going to be seeing overnight lows in the 60s for many of our places. So even warming up there. So as we get into tomorrow, as promised, we're going to be seeing those upper 80s and lower 90s. And that does look to be holding tough for your Sunday as well. Now, winds are going to be a bit of a factor, but maybe with the heat, it'll be good to have a little bit of breeze. 10 to 20 mile per hour winds are expected for tomorrow and for Sunday as well. And we do have a slight chance of a little bit of shower activity as we get to Sunday early evening, so we're keeping a close eye on that. But folks, even warmer temperatures just by a bit as we head into our next work week. So a lot to talk about as we head into our Mother's Day weekend. My full forecast is coming up, but for right now, I'm going to send it back to you.
Tonight, we've learned the guilty verdict in the trial of Lori Vallow Daybell. She's accused of killing her 2 younger children. ABC has the latest.
Just hours before Mother's Day weekend, a jury of 5 women and 7 men finding Lori Vallow Daybell guilty on all charges.
Answer: guilty.
The Idaho mom on trial accused of plotting to murder 2 of her youngest kids and conspiring to kill the former wife of her 5th husband, Chad Daybell.
Every way you looked at this case, it was jaw-dropping and shocking.
Daybell's defense not calling any witnesses. But in closing arguments, Lori's defense team tried poking holes in the prosecution's case, blaming Chad Daybell for the murders.
1 year after meeting Chad, 4 people are dead. Of the 15,000 texts that you have in evidence, show me one where Lori's part of that conspiracy.
Prosecutors said the so-called Doomsday Mom was caught up in a religious cult and was on a quest for money, power, and sex with Chad, and was willing to get rid of anyone who got in the way of their love affair, including her own children.
When the whole world is out looking for your kids, dance and laugh on a beach in Hawaii. No. Was a good mom abandon her children in the ground and go marry a recent widower? No.
Vallow Daybell's children, 7-year-old JJ and 16-year-old Tylee, were last seen in September 2019. Their bodies eventually found in Chad's backyard.
Lori Daybell showed no emotion after the jury found her guilty on all 7 counts. She was taken to jail to await sentencing, which the judge says could take a few months. She faces up to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Chad Daybell's trial is set for next summer. Tim Pulliam, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Tonight, a 24-year-old former Marine sergeant who's accused of killing a man on the New York City subway is facing charges. Now, the video of Daniel Penny putting 30-year-old Jordan Neely in a chokehold on May 1st sparked protests as prosecutors waited to file charges. Now, Penny did not enter a plea during the hearing today, but his lawyers have said Neely was threatening people and Penny acted in self-defense, something that the lawyer for Neely's family disputes.
There was no attack. Mr. Neely did not attack anyone, he did not touch anyone, he did not hit anyone, but he was choked to death.
Penny has been charged with second-degree manslaughter. That indicates prosecutors think that he deliberately acted in a way that risked someone else's death without a good reason. A grand jury is expected to hear evidence against Penny next week. And in upstate New York, the families of people who were killed in a mass shooting at a grocery store last year have now filed a lawsuit against Facebook, Google, and others, accusing them of directing the killer towards progressively more extreme and psychologically discordant content. 10 people, all black, were killed in the shooting on May 14th of 2022. The lawsuit filed today says the shooter talked online about planning the attack and says social media companies profited from video of the shooting despite efforts to take it down. The now 19-year-old shooter pleaded guilty. During his sentencing, he claimed that racist propaganda brainwashed him. Now, here's the thing. Typically, social media companies are protected from lawsuits in much the same way that gun companies are, because they say they're not responsible for what people post online. There is a case before the Supreme Court that could change that. The arguments in that case were given earlier this year, and we're expecting we could see a decision from the justices coming up later this summer. So we'll keep you updated. Taking a live look at our nation's capital this evening, we are talking about the debt ceiling. There's still no deal to raise the debt ceiling and make it so that the government can continue paying its bills. That deadline inching closer all the time. President Biden was supposed to meet with top lawmakers in Congress again today, trying to come up with an agreement that will make it so that we can raise the debt ceiling. That meeting was canceled at the last minute, but officials say they're still negotiating behind the scenes and planning to meet in person again next week. Oregon's legislative session is on hold for the weekend. Republican senators walked out more than a week ago, and so far they've refused to come back, which means the Senate can't hold any votes. Leadership in the state Senate is working on a solution, and the Senate president has agreed not to hold floor sessions from today through the weekend. That means that Republicans who walked out will not continue racking up their unexcused absences. As we've been talking about, a new voter-approved law in Oregon says state lawmakers with more than 10 unexcused absences cannot run for re-election. Oregon's legislative session is scheduled to end on June 25th. And it's been quieter today than many people feared at the southern border as we're seeing the end of Title 42 and a big change to what happens when you try to cross the border. Title 42 gave Border Patrol the ability to send people back across the border if they declared asylum. Now that's changed and the rules are a little bit stricter. Officials were worried that we could see a huge surge with around 10,000 people per day trying to cross. As you can see here, that's really not what we're seeing so far. Now at the northern border, it's a little bit different scenario. We're not seeing the surge of people crossing there. And agents have to patrol some potentially fragile wildland areas where vehicles, even bikes, aren't allowed. Those areas, though, still difficult to reach on foot, so the agents resort to an ancient partner, horses. The agents train in Colville, Washington, spending weeks to learn everything from safety to steering.
If you've never been on a horse, it usually takes pretty much the whole time. Mainly it's the cues. You have your hand cues, your mouth cues, your good seat, and your cues with your feet, getting your horse to do what you want when you're talking to him or wanting him to do certain things.
Now, many people say this is one of the most difficult training segments for Border Patrol agents to pass. Much like driving a car, you do have to pass a written and a riding test in order to be certified. Now here in our area, we're talking about the heat tonight. Temperatures in the mid-80s across our region. Jason Valentine has a look at just how hot it's going to get this Mother's Day weekend coming up. And speaking of Mother's Day, we have a story out of Spokane. The first blind foster mom in the state of Washington has now adopted her son. We'll hear from her coming up.
Here's to the moms, mamas, and mumsies. They deserve the mother of all Mother's Day treats, a DQ cake. With layers of creamy, world-famous soft serve, and a delicious fudge and crunch center. Conveniently customizable and ready for pickup from the DQ freezer. So grab yours. And let's raise our red spoons to a cake as sweet as she is. Aw. DQ. Happy tastes good.
The Shining Star Pageant Board is being honored with a $1,000 donation from STCU.
The joy that the girls show and the confidence that it gives them, they just sparkle.
It's magical to see them, out there talking on stage. She wanted a pageant that she could participate in.
Every girl that comes here leaves with a smile.
STCU's Volunteers Count honors volunteers in our communities. Please tell us a story of someone you believe is making an impact.
Reel in a fortune during the $200,000 Fishing for a Fortune at Wild Horse Resort and Casino with over $7,000 in cash and prizes every Friday and Saturday. Cash your line and win up to $750 free play, $1,000 cash, or hook a new 15-foot Alaskan DLX boat. Play Wednesdays and multiply your entries. Use your Club Wild card and earn points and win special prizes from Billy's Bait Shop. Reel in your next fortune today. Wild Horse Resort and Casino, Pendleton, Oregon. More winners, more often.
Okay, I think we're all aware that most cell companies only give you the lowest price when you sign up for multiple lines.
What? Multiple lines?
Hello? Yeah, 1 sec. But US Cellular gives you just one line for $29.99 with unlimited data.
Just one line with unlimited data.
So you don't have to get more lines than you need.
No, you hang up.
Are you even listening, guy who never looks up from his phone?
Oh, not for me, I just say it.
Okay, so no, you're not listening.
Get one line for $29.99, plus every plan is price protected. US Cellular, built for us.
I just turned 37 and I found a lump. By the time that I had it checked out and was able to get in and see a doctor and all that, I was at stage 3. Part of the reason I think that I didn't go get it checked out right away is that I was really scared. When I got the call, it was gone. It was such a huge relief. Even if you don't feel that it's in you, that you have a lump or you have a reason to get checked, you are a woman, get checked.
This newscast sponsored by Nissan.
Welcome back. Today, thousands of United Airlines pilots hit the picket lines, calling for higher pay and better scheduling. This comes less than 2 weeks after American Airlines pilots did the same. Delta came to an agreement with its pilots earlier this year, raising pay rates by more than 30% over 4 years. American, United, and Southwest pilots are still negotiating their new contracts. The process was effectively put on hold during the pandemic. American and Southwest pilots have also voted to authorize a strike, and United pilots could be next. That vote, though, is only the first step, and there are a lot of legal steps to go through before pilots are allowed to go on strike. New tonight, an Eastern Washington family will be celebrating Mother's Day this weekend in a special way. Vanessa Perez reports Katie Strickland was one half of the first blind couple to be approved as foster parents in the state of Washington, and now she's formally adopted her son.
Strickland always considered Thomas her son. The only thing missing, a judge's stamp of approval.
We met down at the courthouse at 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon and celebrated what myself and my family had known for a long time, that Thomas was officially home.
A special day surrounded by family and friends. Strickland was also adopted herself at a young age. She always wanted to be a foster mom.
Something clicked with him when I first held him. He was this 6.5-month-old baby that weighed just about 14 pounds and just needed somebody to love him right then and there.
Thomas's adoption process had its ups and downs, but nothing short of worth it.
I cried. It was a lot of sense of relief, a lot of anxiety that was lifted, we finally made it after 3 years. We are finally here.
Strickland and her late husband were the first blind couple to receive a license to foster in Washington.
A title that I'm very proud to hold because it means that I've broken down barriers for others that may want to take on this journey. And you can do it. Is it hard? Absolutely. But you can do it.
She encourages those who can't physically raise foster kids to support by volunteering or donating. This official forever family never letting go.
Now, KAPP First Alert Weather with Jason Valentine.
Good Friday evening, everyone. Welcome to the weekend. It's been a bit of a long week, so glad to be here. And what a weekend we have ahead. We've been counting it down. Again, a little bit cooler than we were expecting around midweek, but still a hot and sunny weekend is ahead. Now, winds are picking up into tomorrow, and it's staying dry and hot as we head in even to our next work week. And wait till you see the temperatures there. So our temperature trend, we are again, slightly moving up as we head into our weekend. We're going to be in those upper 80s. Some areas will be in the lower 90s as we get to Saturday and Sunday. And then we're just going to slowly warm up into our next work week, well into our next weekend. So back to the 90s. So many of our areas, upper 80s, lower 90s, pretty much for the week ahead. Just beautiful conditions also are expected. So just get ready. If you're a fan of the heat, it is finally here. Our futurecast as we move into tomorrow morning, look at this, nary any clouds throughout. So as we move into Saturday evening, just a hint of clouds and maybe even a little bit of precipitation into the really far northeast part of Oregon. But as we get to Sunday night, we could see just a little bit of shower activity starting to pop up. Very quick, but still all of our areas could see just a little bit of precipitation, so keep an eye out for that as we get to Sunday evening, Mother's Day evening. Now winds, they are going to be picking up for our weekend as well. We're going to be in the kind of the mid-teens, so we could see anywhere between 10 to 20 mile per hour winds at times sustained, and then we'll see it kind of just ebb into what we saw today, right around 10 mile per hour winds to light. So not really many wind events on the way, but the breeze could feel good as we do start to warm up. So we do have that 2023 countdown. We're, of course, 2 days away from Mother's Day, Memorial Day 17 days away, and Father's Day just a little bit over a month away to celebrate Dad. So let's not forget the people who are important in your life. So for the almanac, today we're 10 degrees above our average, and that means we're going to be around 15 degrees above our average for our weekend. Overnights we're plenty warm as well, 13 degrees. So just beautiful conditions on the way. In the Tri-Cities area, we're going to be right about 10 degrees above our average for or overnight and today's high. And if you look at those record highs, they are in the upper 90s. So we're not going to be getting any record highs, at least in the weekend and early in next work week. We'll keep an eye if we do break them as we move along in our next work week. So overnight tonight, we've been steadily warming. We've been in the mid to upper 40s to lower 50s for much of the week. We're going to be getting to those mid to lower 50s tonight, and we're going to be seeing even warmer temperatures, some areas getting into the 60s overnight tomorrow night into Sunday morning. As we get to tomorrow, we're a little bit warmer for Yakima, Toppenish, Hanford, our hot spot in the lower 90s. Other than that, we're in the mid to upper 80s, a little bit chillier for Pendleton at 82. So again, Pendleton kind of lagging behind as they have all week, but ample sunshine, should be beautiful conditions for traveling, just perfect conditions for whatever outdoor activity you are looking at. So 7-day forecast, we're going to remain very warm and again get into those 90s as we get into our next work week. Overnight lows getting into those 60s as we move along. Again, Mother's Day on Sunday. In Yakima, we're going to be in the upper 80s to lower 90s and possibly a little warmer as we get into our next work week. So folks, the heat is on, especially for our Mother's Day weekend. Hope you have plenty of time to get out and enjoy, but please make sure to have enough sunscreen and hydrate as this heat came on quite quickly.
Portion of KAPP KVEW sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Stan, who is that?
Okay, Roy, I went to the basement, found a weird portal, went through, found myself in a prehistoric valley, talked to a couple dinos, told them about Triple Play. They wanted to check it out. Here we are.
Wow!
Hi, Roy.
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, like bowling, Raptor Reef Indoor Water Park, and a brand new zip line ride, all attached to a cozy hotel.
She'll leave whenever we're ready.
I'm ready.
Hepatitis C? Don't just treat it. Crush it with Maverick.
Conquer it with Maverick.
Cure it with Maverick. Maverick cures all types of Hep C.
In only 8 weeks.
The virus multiplies daily and can damage the liver over time. Maverick stops Hep C and cures it. If you've had hepatitis B, it may flare up and cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you've had Hep B, a liver or kidney transplant, other liver problems, HIV, other medical conditions, and all your medicines. Do not take Maverick with atazanavir or rifampin. Report right away yellow skin, stomach pain or swelling, confusion and bleeding or bruising.
Hep C? Crush it with Maverick.
Conquer it.
Cure it in only 8 weeks. See Hep C gone with Maverick.
Ask your doctor about Maverick. AbbVie could help you save.
Oh my gosh, Chris Bryant, Freddie Freeman, hustling in for the new DQ Summer Blizzard menu? Oh, 5 iconic flavors here for a limited time, like new peanut butter puppy chow.
Wow.
And s'mores is back.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Wow is right.
Hey guys.
Whoa.
The new DQ Summer Blizzard menu. Hustle in before it's gone.
DQ. Happy tastes good.
Luxurious Karastan carpets are just the footing you need to live beautifully. And now, during National Karastan Month, you can save beautifully. Use your exclusive rebate to receive up to $1,000 back on select styles of Karastan carpets and the flawless craftsmanship of Luxe Craft hard surface flooring. Live beautifully, save beautifully with Karastan at Floor & Home by Carpet One.
Come see us at Floor & Home.
Let us help create your space.
Why buy a mattress from Mattress Depot USA?
Low prices.
Every day, we beat any competitor's price.
Selection?
All sizes and brands like Sealy, Stearns & Foster, Tempur-Pedic.
Customer service.
Our sleep specialists average 10 years in the industry. Check out our reviews.
Comfort guarantee?
120 nights worth.
Same day delivery.
Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Local?
Born here, live here.
Come see us today.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
Today, the Cadillac Tri-Cities Cancer Center celebrated the annual planting of their cancer-crushing vegetable garden. The garden was started in 2021. It provides fresh vegetables for patients receiving cancer treatment. There are also flowers and fountains that provide a serene place to be while patients and their loved ones are going through cancer treatments. The garden also helps people learn about healthy eating and what the colors of vegetables can mean when it comes to your health.
Being able to incorporate just a wide range of colorful foods in our diet, of course, vegetables we know those are great for us. So being able to provide those to patients where they can take some fresh, healthy ingredients home with them and maybe incorporate that in meals, and also just knowing that they were grown with love and share that with our community.
Volunteers and members of Central Plateau Cleanup Company participated in the planting of this year's crop. It's also a project of the Tri-Cities Cancer Center Foundation. You're seeing lots of sunshine out there. It is getting hot this weekend. We'll have the details when we come back.
Portion of KAPP KVEW sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Tonight, as thousands of asylum seekers try to get into the U.S.,
our borders are not open.
The new rules now in place. More Americans turn to the most watched program on television, World News Tonight with David Muir.
The Silver Jubilee 25th Anniversary Celebration continues at Legends Casino Hotel in May, with over $225,000 in cash and prizes being given away. We've got one Mercedes left, so use your player's card to earn entries for cash drawings on Thursdays and a Mercedes GLE on May 25th. Play your favorite slots for a chance at one of 25 cash prizes, totaling over $200,000 on May 31st. It's an anniversary celebration like no other, only at Legends Casino Hotel, within winning distance.
It's time to get the tax break you deserve this week at Walker's Furniture, as they offer a double discount with 18% off. Or no minimum purchase, no money down, 5 years financing with 60 equal payments.
There's no better time to freshen up your living room, dine in style, or get that bedroom set you've always wanted. Plus, get a double discount or 5 years financing with 60 equal payments.
Making it the perfect time to furnish your life for less at Walker's.
Hi, my name is Ubi, and I've been a customer at Yakima Federal Savings and Loan for about 40 years. We quickly just become not just a banker-bankee relationship, but a friendship relationship. The purchase of our first home, things went so well and so easy. And in that, here we are 40 years later, 3 homes later, 2 children, 2 son-in-laws, and 3 grandchildren. And Yakima Federal has been with us through this whole journey.
An accident can shatter your life. At Tamaki Law, we put your life back together.
As a personal injury attorney, I meet some of the best people under the worst of circumstances. They come to us suffering. They completely depend on us. That's why we work hard and fight for the justice they deserve.
If you've been seriously injured, call Tamaki Law and get your life back.
Come shop the largest selection of RVs in the Tri-Cities at Appleway RV. Save big on Class A's, Class C's, travel trailers, toy haulers, and fifth wheels. Shop America's top brands, Rockwood, Tiffin, Newmar, Dynamax, and more, with a huge selection of pre-owned RVs. Plus, get maximum value for your trade, all with no payments for 90 days. Come shop the clearance event at Appleway RV Pasco.
Join us at Geisa Stadium on May 17th for the second annual Salute to Seniors. At 12:30, enjoy an all-you-can-eat and drink buffet before catching the Dust Devils action at 1:30. Don't miss out on this fun-filled day celebrating our beloved seniors.
Later tonight on KAPP KVEW Local News, a potentially scary scam being reported in eastern Washington. The Sheriff's Office in Spokane is investigating reports that people in suits claiming to be with the Treasury Department are showing up on people's doorsteps and demanding money.
They need fear. They need to be able to be convincing to make the fear happen. People lose their money. All he needs is one person a week that he scams for $1,000. And that's $52,000 a year, tax-free, not on the books, non-traceable.
Coming up on KAPP KVEW Local News at 6:30, we'll talk about what you should do if this happens to you or a loved one, and some of the consistent red flags with almost every scam that should have you thinking twice before you hand over your hard-earned cash. But for now, we're going to take a final look at the weather outside. It is a beautiful day, but it is hot. We are seeing temperatures in the mid to upper 80s across most of our region. Jason Valentine has a look at what you can expect this evening.
All right, folks, let's get you ready for your Saturday. And look at all this sunshine. For the Tri-Cities, we're going to see highs in the upper 80s. And again, winds 10 to 20 mile per hour. A little bit warmer in Yakima. We could get to that 90-degree point. For Walla Walla, a little cooler in the mid-80s. Again, ample sunshine just across our areas, and mid-80s as well for Ellensburg. So, folks, even warmer temperatures as we head into our next work week and possibly next weekend. Hope you have a wonderful, well, Mother's Day weekend, and folks, hope you get outside and enjoy this sunshine and the heat.
Thanks, Jason, and thank you so much for watching. KAPP KVEW Local News is back tonight at 6.